you want to give the internet a gym tour?
Yeah, would you like to see what our old gym used to look like?
You want to start there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it rained overnight, so this would be the perfect example of what we used to do. Here's our rig. It's got us through COVID. Pull-up bar. Got to launch yourself off the step. It's pretty high.
Don't want to do it?
I don't trust myself right now. All of those mats used to be around here somewhere, and there used to be a tiny little garden shed here that kept our plates and barbells safe from the environment. But that was the workout station.
Yep, all through COVID.
All through COVID. And now, post-COVID, we have this shed.
You just did a workout.
I did. I just did today's programming.
What was it?
We had some deadlift strengths to start with, 5x2, 85%, and then followed by a spicy little burner that was 3 rounds for time, 15 deadlifts and 15 burpee over bar lateral in sub 9 minutes or 4 to 5 minutes for the stimulus. Where would you like to start?
What was your time on that workout?
4:22, and it was hard to breathe on the deadlifts after doing the burpees each time.
The plan was what? So that we could potentially both work out in here at the same time if we wanted to, doing the same workout?
Because during COVID, when we only had the one rack, it was either Justin's exercising or I'm exercising. There was no like, we can both be doing this at the same time. So the whole intention of the rig was that 2 of us could be lifting at any one point. So you can see some pretty clear lifting stations here. Obviously that's set up for bench right now. And Jazzy's safety squat bar at the back here with his spotter arms. But there's also a spot over this side, so that if Justin was lifting here, I could easily be in this space, or vice versa. Justin could be in this space lifting if we were doing strength that required the rig at the same time.
Yeah.
So that was the intention behind that. And outside of that, the only other thought process was a bar that's high enough for Jazzy to be able to do kipping movements, and then in a spot of the roof that's high enough for him to be able to turn over for his bar muscle ups. When I do my bar muscle ups, that's on this one here. I can actually reach that from standing, so it does need to be a fraction higher. But that's good for me for toes to bar, strict pull-ups. And I use the other one for keeping pull-ups, keeping chest to bar. I need a plate under my feet for that though. What would you like me to show you now?
Barbells.
Barbells. A couple of old 10s and 20s off to the side there. The main bars are stored on this wall here. I've got my 15 kilo bar that I bought off Grant and Eilish. Jazzy's got this fancy bar. What's it called?
That's a Matt Chan bar.
And what makes it so special other than being Rogue's fancy logo?
The, can't really see, but the knurling is wider than a standard bar. So it doesn't grip on your shorts or pants or whatever when you're lifting. And it's also got center knurling, and it's got a cool Matt Chan logo, which is upside down, and a cool Rogue logo.
What's the point of this?
It's like for slightly grippier for like back squats, or even people enjoy it for like catching a clean or whatever.
Yeah.
The center knurling doesn't fuss me too much. It was actually the wider knurling that I was more interested in. What bar's yours?
Bella bar?
Bella bar.
I have to ask Grant to confirm.
It is a Bella bar.
And is this one Nashi's bar?
No.
What's this one for?
That's a cheap, easy curl bar that fits Olympic size plates. Handy for doing bicep curls,
Skull crushers?
skull crushers, and French press.
Across to the side with the old bars too is
It's a copy of a Rogue Kabuki Cadillac bar, which is a neutral grip bench press bar.
So rather than benching in this direction, you can turn your grip wide, neutral, middle, narrow.
Narrow, and it's good. It was good for my shoulder injury and a wrist injury actually.
And then alongside those injuries, the safety squat bar with a nice padded neck support and handles to hang on to, so that you don't need to come in and under like this?
Yeah.
Is there any other reason for it?
It puts the weight halfway between like a front squat and a back squat in the way that it loads up. But mainly I got it for shoulder and wrist issues as well. So you don't have to reach right back to grip the bar, which I couldn't do when I had a shoulder and a wrist injury. Safety spotter arms that were off the old outside rig that happened to fit this new inside rig.
That's why they're blue.
And same with these pin attachments down the bottom that I use for bands.
We do have a set of black bumpers across the back of various weights.
In the homemade pallet rack.
That was special request for me.
Spot for fractionals.
And spiders.
But yeah, you can make your own one of these out of a pallet. But then we upgraded to this.
So when we got the new home gym and Juzzy got his fancy Matt Chan bar, he also purchased some fancy bumper plates and fractionals and a Rogue tilt plate holder.
Toaster rack.
Plate holder, rack. That can be rolled around the gym if needed. It never really gets rolled anywhere. In fact, it's probably been there for most of the time. That's why this stubby holder's up here on this barbell. Because 9 times out of 10, when you pick up a plate, you hit your head. And I got really annoyed with it, but there's not really anywhere else to put this. So now, safety first. Set of gymnastic rings, ring rows, ring dips, old school parallel bars, homemade from the old gym. Dip bar, tib bar. Do you want to tell us about that?
Tib raisers, like this. And you can load standard Olympic size plates on there, fractionals.
And why did you buy this?
It helps with knee problems, so it helps strengthen up through there so that I don't get knee pain so much.
So how did you find out about the tib bar?
The knees over toes guy. I also bought this from the same place, from HTG, which is like a Nordic attachment to go on the rig. So I can attach it to the rig here and then use the bench to grip my feet under there and do Nordic curls.
What else you got up there?
Rogue, ab mat.
8 kilo gold kettlebell. Beth and I won one each in a competition at Perfit in Ballarat.
And then 16, 24, 32, and then I added a 28 because no one has a 28 and the gap between 32 and 24 is too much for me. So this is to help me slowly work up to the 32.
What is this?
This is a Rogue War Bar, which is just a piece of plastic, but I like it.
What's it for?
Warming up. You know, pass-throughs.
So like we would know the broomstick.
Jerks.
But this isn't a PVC.
It's just
a war bar.
A plastic bar with knurling marks on it so you know roughly where your hand should be. And they're like $28 and they don't get splintery or anything, so I got one. What do you use?
I got mine from Bunnings. It's a piece of dowel. I drew my own knurling marks on there in line with my barbell so that I knew where I grip. I don't have very long arms though, so I didn't need anything wider than the standard 1.2 rod, but it works fine for me. I've never thought about splinters until you said that just then though, so hopefully that doesn't happen. We've got a set of 22.5 kilo dumbbells, a set of 10 kilo dumbbells that are in the wrong spot, but I'm trying out a new spot for them for now. And a set of 15 kilo dumbbells over here too. So your standard weights that you would probably need for most RX weights for things. Outside of that, a bunch of bands to help with strict pull-ups, keeping bar muscle-ups, assisted things. Bunch of bands to help with pull-ups. Foam roller. Med balls. 14 pound and 20 pounds, so your 9 and 6 kilo med ball. Juzzy made this rack. It's got a gap in the bottom of it, just so that even without this box here, I can still get the ball I need when I want to do wall balls. And Juzzy mounted 10-foot targets over there for us so that we can throw to. And then when I'm done with the ball, all I have to do Just roll it back up the top. Tia Claire Toomey Rogue lifting belt. Is that what this is?
Mm-hmm.
Which I've used a couple of times. That lives up here too. Sets of collars. Frog grips that I don't wear. They're the old school ones, not like the new ones they have these days. Knee sleeves. Spots on the wall. Handstand push-ups, wall walks, stuff like that. I taped a mark 10 inches from the wall for the standard, 55-inch line for the ladies, 60-inch line for 50.
There's lines on the ground for the wall walks.
Lines for them. No lines over this side because this wall doesn't get used very much, but there is space to do if Justin and I were both requiring the wall space on there. Where'd you get these from, Juzzy? Kmart.
Yeah.
Couple of resistance bands that have handles from Kmart to be used like crossover symmetry.
It's a poor man's crossover symmetry.
Well, you know what is a poor man's crossover symmetry? Banded sevens.
Yeah.
So this is a step up from that if you've got the ability to mount it somewhere. We have a C2 bike erg and a C2 row erg. I bought the C2 bike because we already own an Echo bike, and this was a nice solution for easy pedaling along with the ability to do machine workouts with a machine that could be used to replace running.
Why don't you just have the Echo bike here then?
Because the Echo bike's at the gym because I used it less than I use this.
Why did you use the Echo bike less than this?
Because it's hard.
Adjustable bench, incline bench. It's nice and strong and heavy. NC Fitness. And it has a handle, so we can tilt it up and wheel it out of the way.
We laid all our rubber down in one strip here, 25 foot. Down, 25 foot back for anything like shuttle runs or walking lunges or handstand walking that might require distance as opposed to in place. Rogue Echo home gym timer.
The smaller one.
The smaller one, which is still quite large when you look at it and very useful. Comes with a remote. Also comes with a phone app. If you prefer to use your phone to set the clock than the remote, I prefer the remote. Couple of wooden boxes, your standard 20, 24 and 30 inch box. Both of these, old one from the old gym. Mooba made this one. I think we bought it off Hamish, Grant, someone.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Mooba made these once upon a time though. And then this smaller box, which we got a few at the gym and I like them, so I wanted to get one for home. I used it quite regularly during my back injury as a bit of a depth guide at 16 and 12 inches. And now it's just quite useful for just sitting on. Lifting platform. Wood. Sounds nice, feels nice. When you go heavy, a little less spongy than the rubber on the ground.
Anything you would change?
I don't think so.
Any recommendations for people setting up their own home gym?
Start with the things that you would regularly use. You know, if you don't have the space for a barbell, start with a set of dumbbells. If you do have the space for a barbell and you like doing strength work, then a barbell and a set of bumper plates is going to be the easiest thing for you to use. Kettlebells, always useful. I hope you enjoyed seeing our home gym. Let us know if you think we should get anything else. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment.
Now what?
Well, I've just exercised, so I need to go and have a shower and then back into the gym for the 5 p.m. class. What are you doing?
Guess I'll go edit this video.